Hello and welcome to another episode here on my channel. My name is Chaos Mole and I'm a partnered full-time variety streamer at twitch.tv/chaosmole, and I have been a Mixer partner before that, and I've also been doing full-time streaming for 2.5 years, and I've been doing streaming for 4 years. And today I want to talk to you about full-time streaming. Now, I see a lot of people who got hurt by a lot of economic issues going on right now in the world, and COVID-19 is of course one of the very, very big issues people are facing when it comes to making ends meet and also making the money they need to pay their bills, to pay their rent, to pay their food, like basically, as I said, make ends meet. And a lot of people turn to streaming. Now, let me tell you one thing. Don't. Like, seriously, don't. Streaming is the worst possible decision you could make if you need money in your life. Like, or at least as a full-time streamer. Not necessarily as just streaming in itself, but if you want to become a full-time streamer, that is not something you are just doing overnight or which you can achieve in like 2 or 3 months. We are talking here about years. And when you need money, you don't have years, you have weeks. You have maybe months if you're lucky, but you definitely don't have years to maybe have a shot at becoming a full-time streamer. And let's make an example here, just to visualize like how problematic this whole idea is of becoming a full-time streamer and make money. Let's say you are super successful. Everything is going your way, right? You are making like all the requirements, you're hitting all the requirements, you become a Twitch affiliate after 2 weeks. Then it takes another 1 or 2 weeks till Twitch is allowing to get that Twitch affiliate. And then afterwards, you can start to gain subscribers, you can start to gain bits. So you have already used up at least a month, at least, to get to that point. Now you are starting to gain that money, and after that month, you are not getting immediately that money. No. Twitch is telling you exactly in their contracts that you have to A, reach a certain threshold, and B, it takes up to 60 days before you actually get that set money. So all in all, you will probably have to wait 3 months at least before you see any money from your streaming endeavor. And then again, to make meaningful money from streaming, you don't need just like 50 followers and 20 viewers. You need hundreds, if not thousands of viewers and tens of thousands of followers. You need that. And you don't reach that in just a few months. Like, I know you always see certain streamers or YouTubers coming to Twitch and they are starting out of nowhere to build an audience. They didn't build this audience out of nowhere. They had already a community somewhere else. And they built this community over years. Like, I'm a perfect example of this. I came to Twitch out of nowhere, but I wasn't a nobody. Like, I streamed 4 years on Mixer and I built a sizable community. So for me, the jump over to Twitch and then the establishment as a partner and making the income and continuing doing my full-time streaming endeavor was something which was easier to do, because I already had that community. I was basically just moving platforms. But if you are somebody who has never done this before, you really don't want to focus on the money side of things. I know this is the big dream of every kid out there, and even like some adults who see like the numbers and the clouds streamers have on Instagram and Twitter. They're like, man, look at this. They have 20,000 subscribers on Twitch. Holy moly, they're making so much money every day. Man, I want to do that too. The thing is, yes, they do. They really do. But they have worked hard for this. And they have worked for it for years. Like, I know that some people always like to point out Ninja. Ninja is a wonderful example of this, where people are like, oh my god, have you seen Ninja? When he got like hosted by Drake and Drake was doing stuff with him, that was the time where he took off and became like the big shot. And it's like, no. Ninja was already there. He already had a community. He already had people supporting him. He already had partnership. Like, he already had that because he was streaming for years before that. Like, he was a Halo Pro player. He did other shooting games. Like, he was known in the streaming scene and in the scene of computer games before all of that. Sure, he became known afterwards throughout the streaming industry and even beyond that. But before that, he was already there. So I see a lot of people who look at other big streamers and at other channels who have already reached certain milestones, and they believe like, yeah, this is where I will start. No, you will not. You will not start at that point. You will start at the lowest bottom of all of this. And no, this is not to discourage you. This is not to make you feel bad. I have been there. 4 years ago, I started my streaming path. I had nothing. There was nobody there. I had at best 3 viewers, 5 viewers over time. And it took me months and years to slowly but surely build a small community who would support me in my path and to build up connections, to do the networking, as some people would call it, and just be slowly but surely known on Mixer. Now I'm coming to Twitch. Yes, I have my partnership, I have my community, I have other Mixer streamers with me, but the cold reality is nobody knows me on Twitch. And that is one of the things, even I, as somebody who has already 4 years of streaming, 4 years of content creating behind him, 2.5 years as a full-time streamer, even for me, that is rather rough. And it will take me a lot of work, a lot of days, weeks, months, maybe even years to come back to the point I have been on Mixer. So if it even is rather tough for somebody who has already some experience and brought some community with him, what do you think will happen when you start to do it as somebody who has literally nothing? It is tough and it will take years. Notice, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But don't try to become a full-time streamer because you need money right now. That is not what full-time streaming is. Like, it is not achievable for you. It really isn't. And if you need money, there are better ways to get on money, to make money in like 1 or 2 months than streaming ever will be. Streaming is a thing which takes time, and you have to focus on so many more things. Like, when you start out, you focus on streaming itself. How can you improve? How can you improve your equipment? How can you reach out to more people? How can you reach out on social media? How can you do other platform things to be more known in the streaming world? Like, there's so many other things you have to think about instead of just, how can I make money? Like, that field in itself is already super complicated and takes a lot of work, and you don't have the time for that. If I have seen streamers who do that, who focusing solely on the money part, they never got anywhere because they completely ignored the other things which are so important. Like, as I said, interacting with your community, social media stuff, making videos, being out there, being known on the platform and other channels. Like, there's so much other things you really have to focus on at the beginning, that money is your least problem. But when you are going in with the mindset of, I want to become a full-time streamer, I need the money in 3 months, you will end up in a dead end. So the best advice I can give you is really find a job, start streaming, find some time to do streaming, and see where it leads you. That's what I did. I had a job. I had a day job, which wasn't streaming, and I was doing the day job every day. And then I was also doing streaming every day. And then at some point, after years, I had the opportunity to switch, and I was taking that adventure. And so far, it worked out for me. But again, years. And even if you are probably much better than I am, I have seen people who got a lot of views, a lot of followers, and could go full time. But even these people took about a year at least before they even managed to get there. So again, full-time streaming, it's fine when you try to achieve that at some point, but it's not here to solve your money issues, and it's not something you should focus on when you start streaming. You have completely different things in your mind, like streaming. Streaming is not just hitting a button and wait for the people to pour in. That is what a lot of people do. That's where a lot of people unfortunately fail. And then they are turning away from streaming, absolutely devastated, absolutely disappointed, and they blame streaming for their situation. And the thing I really want to do with this video is don't do it. Don't fall into that trap. Be smarter, be better, don't fall into that trap. And if you want to join into streaming, if you want to start into streaming, and you want to become a streamer, do it. Have fun with it, which is the most important part. But take your time. It is super important. And with that said, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time.